All right, today we're going to get real about money. We're going to tackle a lesson that, let's be honest, most of us never got in school. The huge difference between looking rich and actually being wealthy. Let's dive in. So just imagine this for a second. You did it. You just made the very last payment on your car. 5 years. That's a long time, right? Every single month that payment went off. Now the bank sends you the papers. It's officially yours. You snap a pic, you put it on Instagram, and of course the congratulations just pour in. You've made it. This is success, right? Or is it? Well, not quite. In fact, if we're looking at the cold hard numbers, your big success actually put you in the hole by 240,000 Rand. Wait, what? How is that even possible? And that right there is what this first section is all about. We're calling it the R300k success myth. Because this isn't just about one car. This is a huge $240,000 lesson in what some would call financial slavery. Okay, let's actually break this down so you can see it clearly. The car cost R300,000 Rand, but with interest over those 5 years, you actually paid the bank a grand total of R420,000. Now for the painful part. Depreciation. Your car is now only worth about R180,000. So you take what you paid, subtract what it's now worth, and boom, you've lost R250,000. And here is the truly insane part. We live in a world where society pats you on the back for this. They congratulate you for losing a massive amount of money on something that's value was dropping from the second you drove it off the lot. It's like everyone cheering for you as you sprint toward the wrong finish line. This isn't freedom, folks. It's a system perfectly designed to keep you stuck. So why do we do this? Well, that leads us straight into our next section, Society's Debt-Driven Playbook. Or, as we're calling it, fake it till you're broke it. Because this isn't just you making a mistake, it's a whole culture pushing you in that direction. And look, this isn't just a feeling. The data backs it up. The South African Reserve Bank found that a jaw-dropping 62% of our household income goes straight to paying off debt. Think about that. For every Rand you earn, only about 38 cents is actually yours. The rest, it already belongs to the banks before it even hits your account. And the reason is simple. We are getting hit from all sides with this message to spend to impress. Banks want to give you loans. Retailers want you to open accounts. And social media, it's a highlight reel of fantasy lifestyles that are almost always funded by debt. They all make money when we get confused and start thinking that debt is a sign of success. You know, financial advisor Thondong Guenya just nails it with this quote. She says people fake it because they think debt is just normal. Everyone else is doing it. So they get stuck in this hamster wheel, earn money, spend money, and then do it all over again. It gives you a quick rush, sure, a little hit of validation, but in the long run, it just leaves you empty. Okay, so that's the problem. But the good news is, it doesn't have to be your story. It is absolutely possible to flip the script, to go from being a consumer to becoming an investor. It really all boils down to two very different paths. You've got the consumer path, where you buy liabilities, things like that fancy car that just lose value. On this path, you work for your money. Then you've got the investor path. Here, you buy assets, stocks, property, a small business, things that actually grow in value. On this path, your money starts to work for you. One path is financial slavery. The other is financial freedom. Let me tell you about a guy named Chapo Mokoena. This is a real-world example of what I'm talking about. Instead of getting that flashy R$300,000 car, he bought a used Baki for R$80,000. But here's the key. He didn't just buy a vehicle, he bought an asset. He used it to start his own delivery service. His friends, yeah, they laughed at his old Baki. But you know what? His business took off. And now those same friends are hitting him up for jobs. That's the difference. So how do you become more like Chepo? How do you get on that path? Well, let's get into the 1% investor playbook. This is how you build real, lasting wealth. And it's not some big secret, really. It comes down to 3 powerful steps. First, you have to redefine success. It's not about the brand of your car, it's about your net worth, what you own minus what you owe. Simple. Second, you have to prioritize buying assets. This means you pay yourself first by investing before you spend on other things. And third, you have to learn to use debt wisely. Not all debt is evil, but you should only use it to buy assets that are going to make you more money. So what does this look like in practice? It means you're actively buying things that grow in value. When you get a raise at work, you don't immediately go out and get a bigger apartment. You increase how much you invest. And maybe the hardest part, you have to ignore the noise. Unfollow those social media accounts that make you feel like you need to spend to keep up. Just tune it out. And all of this really brings us to the most important point of all. It's your money. It's your choice. This is about so much more than just a bank balance. It's about the kind of life, the kind of legacy you actually want to build for yourself. You've got to remember this. True wealth isn't financed. It isn't given to you by a bank. It's built. Slowly. Through patience, through discipline, and honestly, through the sheer courage it takes to look at what everyone else is doing and decide to do something different. So, I want to leave you with one final question to think about. The next time you're scrolling online and you see that slick new car ad or that post of someone's picture-perfect vacation, just stop for a second. Ask yourself, is this thing I want, is it an investment in my future, or am I just investing in someone else's? The choice is always yours.